I don't know if you guys have seen this lately, but insurance companies are showing up with their own security teams, as in they have actually hired or bought or whatever the situation is, they start bringing in their own security teams. The other thing that's we're seeing out there is insurance companies are scanning your largest clients and then sending them a nasty note or something like this, basically talking about dropping their policy if you don't address the things they found. Now, they're not just doing this like in the middle of their, like at the end of their renewal cycle, they're doing this throughout the agreement. And guys, it's not your smallest clients that are getting these notes. It's the big ones, the ones that are spending a lot of money with you. And it's also the ones that are spending a lot of money on insurance, because the bigger the policy, the more interested in they are to coming out and sending something like this. Now, Robin, I know you're looking at this going, oh, shoot, what does all that mean?
No,
Let
I
me.
say no shit. Oh, okay. No, go ahead. I'm just.
No, you're right on. I mean, basically, like if you get this note, like, I mean, just imagine if Robin was your client, she got this note. It says, our security team identified this problem with Microsoft Exchange Server. All of a sudden, she's like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? What's my MSP doing? And at the bottom of this, it says, you know what? We have a security team that will take care of this. Just reach out to us. They're not sending this over to the MSP. They're sending it to your client, and they're sending it to the CFO or the CEO. They're not sending it to like the receptionist. So this is really creating a problem for folks that are basically having to try to explain their way out of it. The other thing is, take a look at the middle paragraph here, where they want evidence that you fix the issue, and then they want evidence that you remediated any possible compromise. And they won't just take you saying, ha, I found an attacker and I got him out of the network. They want evidence. Like, they're going to want a third party to go through and actually audit that and provide you and them proof that there is no longer any indicators of compromise. So this is like a big problem, and it's not an inexpensive problem. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, shoot, who is their security team? Guys, you know who their security team. It's another MSP. It's just somebody that got friendly with the insurance company, and they're the ones providing this. They're also going into situations where, and we've had 3 reports of this so far this year. They're going through and they're analyzing networks, but they're using old domains that are out there. Like, imagine, Robin is currently changing up some of her branding, and so she has an older domain that'll be probably disappearing in a while. And so when that happens, who maintains those old domains? Well, a lot of times they're not maintained. Somebody buys them up, and then they put stuff in that basically abandoned location, and now your client looks bad, and all of a sudden you have all these extra problems. So this is happening. And then finally, we've ran into 5 situations so far, and I just think this is crazy, where the insurance company is showing up. They're saying, hey, we have this particular MSP we work with. We'll give you a 20% discount on your cyber if you use them, because we know that they're so secure. Now, I think this is a real challenge, and this isn't small potatoes clients. Like, one of the folks that I was talking to, he's out on the West Coast. He's losing his largest client. Think about that. Think about if your largest client walked out the door, not because you're doing something wrong, but because their insurance carrier showed up with an MSP. And I know that there's probably some other stuff going on there and some other pieces to the relationship that need to be addressed. But the bottom line is, this is something that you want to get in front of. And guys, just to recap on this, just to remind everybody, this is not something that's happening on the renewal. It's not something that they're just like doing at the end of the year. This is something that's starting to happen throughout the year. And Robin, I mean, just kind of like looking for some thoughts on what you would do to get in front of this if you were an MSP. I mean, like is the right answer just getting out there?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking I need to stand corrected, because I did know this, but I didn't know it was happening at the level it is, because I said it's, basically your insurance company's going to cause you to lose your biggest client. But it makes sense. Like, so, one thing I know from working with Rusty Goodwin, which by the way, I haven't even mentioned Roadshow. I was supposed to do that when we started, but Rusty's somebody who's going to be talking at this year's Roadshow. And, he's a big insurance company, and he works like he is selling compliance as a service. I found Rusty through compliance manager, right? That product, because they hired me to do like a marketing kit, like something like what I've done for Citricom and Microsoft and others in the past, right? So they hired me to do this marketing kit, which actually I'm doing for you too. I'm doing some marketing, but anyway, so they do, and I said, okay, part of my research, I said, give me your top customers, the ones that are selling the most licenses of this software, and they send me Rusty, and I'm like, Rusty's an insurance guy. I almost didn't take the call because I was like, oh, I'm not going to talk. Like, you're confused. I need who's selling the most. They're like, he's by far the person selling most of these. And I got talking to him. He's an insurance guy. He's not an MSP. And he is actively going to his clients and selling them Compliance Manager and offering that as a service, and is now blending into going, well, why not start an MSP division? Because what happens is when he's auditing their insurance policies and he's using Compliance Manager, he's basically coming up with a list. Here's all the things you need to take to your IT company and make sure, or IT department or whatever, and you got to make sure they're actually doing this to be compliant. And then if they're not, see what he's running into is he gives the list over to his customer, and they're paying Rusty to be the compliance guy to kind of help them manage the compliance. He goes back another month later, a quarter later, and he does the scan again. And he says, these things still haven't been fixed. And so what he's finding is that there's insurance companies are now, like you said, they're starting to smell the opportunity, number one. The other thing is insurance companies are upside down because when it comes to cyber, because there's a lot of policies, like some of you out there probably have experienced it. We had it happen to us where we had to renew our policy and they won't even renew it. They're losing money on these policies, right?
Absolutely, Robin. And I think that's exactly the perfect lead into why is this happening